Hi, first graders. We are going to keep working on some double-digit numbers and adding those double-digit numbers together. Last week you were working on adding one-digit and two-digit numbers. This week we're going to just talk about all double-digit numbers. So when you're stacking your numbers on top of each other, you'll have one double digit on the top and then another double digit on the bottom. So like I've been telling you, it's really important when you do these kinds of problems that you are stacking the tens and the ones place exactly where they need to go. Otherwise, you might have some addition problems when you're adding things up. They have to be stacked completely on top of each other. Okay, so let's try one together. I'm going to do two different colors when I'm writing these problems out, just so that I can really make sure that my tens place and my ones place are organized really nicely. If this is helpful for you, you might see if you can find two different colored pens or markers or whatever you can find at home, and this might be a strategy that helps you too. All right, so the first problem I want to just talk about is marbles. Let's just say that we find marbles of one color and marbles of another color, and we want to see how many marbles we have all together. All right, so let's say that the first number that we have of marbles is 35. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my 3 in one color for 35, and I'm going to put the 5 in another color. Okay, so you can see that I've got my tens place is colored blue, and my ones place is colored in purple. Okay, so now when I put my double digit number below here, I want to make sure that my blues line up and my purples line up. Okay, so now the other number of marbles is 27. So first we had 35 marbles. Now we're going to add 27 more marbles. So to do that, I'm going to put my 2 in the tens place because the number's 27. And I put my 7 in the ones place. Now, you should see that I have these lined up so that my tens are in order and my ones are in order as well. Remember that the symbol line across the bottom is symbolizing an equal sign. And then we're going to add these together because we are combining two double-digit numbers. Alrighty? So now what I want to do is add these together. The first thing that we have to do is start in the ones place because this might be a regrouping problem, and we really want to make sure that if we have to regroup, that the regrouping is done before we move into the tens place. Because if we're going to end up with an extra 10 here, we've got to add that with all the blue tens on the other side. All right, so let's get going. 7 and 5, that's our numbers that we're adding. We have learned how to count on in our head, and what's the number that you should put in your head first? Do you think 7 or 5 would go in our head? I would put 7 in my head, and the reason why I would put 7 in my head is because that's the bigger number. And so for me, that's going to just be a little bit less counting. I'm going to start at 7, and then I'm going to go up 5 times. All right, so let's do that together. Put 7 in your head. Here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It went over a 10. It's 12 right here. Okay, so I'm just going to write the word ones so that we don't forget that we have 12 ones. Are we allowed to have 12 ones? We're not allowed to have 12 ones. That means that some of these ones are going to have to move over into the tens place. Okay, let's go ahead and do our tens place and see what we have over there. So 2 plus 3, this is like a double plus 1 fact to me. I know that 2 plus 2 is 4. So 2 plus 3 must be 5. That's a double plus 1 fact. So I know I'm going to have 5 tens over here. However, I am going to have to add one of my, some of my ones over there. Okay, let me show you what this would look like. So let's put this up here on the board here. 5 tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is what we've got so far. And then we're going to add up our 12 ones. So this was 7 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I added up 5 more for the second digit, the one up here. 1, 2, these guys don't want to stay on, 3, 4, 5. So that was all of our ones. I'm going to recount these, make sure that they're 12. When I get to 10, I'm going to group them together so that I can see that that particular group should be exchanged for a long. So let's count together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. that will mean all of these ones over here, all 10 of these, I do not want these in my ones place anymore because there's too many of these in the ones place. I have to get rid of these, and I'm going to exchange them instead for a long. So he needs to be added up with the tens place because it's 10, so it should be a tens place now. And then that leaves that there are 2 left over. So our number is not 52, our number is actually 62 because we took this one right here and we actually changed it to go into the tens place. So we had 5 tens plus 1 more 10, that would be 6 tens, and then 2 extra ones. All right, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62. So looking at that with just our numbers here, we had this as 12. We had to bring that one that was right here had to be added to that 5. So really over here we had 5 plus 1, and that made our tens place number be a 6, and our ones place number stayed as a 2. Okay, so this answer is 62 marbles that we had all together. Let's try another one, and I want to do the same strategy where we're kind of seeing how if there is a 1 that shows up in the ones, if there's a 10 in the ones place, we have to bring that 1 over into the tens, and it has to be combined with the other tens. Okay, your next one is going to be about shells. Let's say you're at the beach, you're collecting some shells. You're going to start with 24 shells. I'm going to do my 2 in blue, just like I did before, and I'm going to do my 4 in purple, showing that I have tens place, ones place. They're 2 different place values. Next up, 58 shells. Wow, you've collected a lot of shells at the beach. 50 is in blue, and then 8 is in another color. Now I'm going to use just a plain color to do my addition symbol because we're adding. And then this straight line across the bottom is your symbol of an equal sign. That shows that we are going to be combining all of these together and finding out the total number. Now, we have to start in the ones place, okay? First, before we do this, I'm going to put up my ones here just so that we can see. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this 8 is showing you that you have 8 ones in that place value. We are going to add in 4 additional ones to that place value. The reason I started with 8 is because I put the bigger number in my head first, and 8 was the bigger number. So I was going to start with 8 in my head, and then I was going to count on 4 more times. So let's do that. Put 8 in your head. All these 8 right here go in your brain, and then count on 4. Here we go. 8, go on. 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 in the ones place. Are we allowed to have 12 in the ones place? No, we cannot have 12 in the ones place because the only number that you're allowed to have in the ones place is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But we cannot go above 9. Otherwise, you're working with tens at that point. So 12 is in the ones place. So let's combine some of these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If I put 2 more down here, I will have a group of 10. So here's my 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 2 extras. That's funny, kind of like the last problem. We had 2 extras on the last problem as well. These 2 get to stay in the ones place, but these are going to have to be exchanged for a long. Let's get to the tens place now, and then we'll do that exchange when we get there. So 5 plus 2, let's put the bigger number in our brain. 5, count on 2 times. Here we go. 5, 6, 7. 7 is the number that's going to go in the tens place. The marker's running out here. 7, okay? So now we have 7 tens and 12 ones. We cannot have 12 ones. So just like we talked about, we are going to exchange all of these for a long. So I'm going to take those away, and I'm going to take a 10 instead and add that up. This 1 right here just had to be moved over into the tens place. So now we have 7 plus 1 extra. So instead of having 7 in the tens place, we actually are going to have 8 because all of those tens, all those extra ones that were a 10 here, we moved it over into the tens place where it belonged. So now we have 8 in the tens place. Okay? So that because we added in that extra 1. And then our 2 is what's left over in the ones place. And so the answer to this problem is 82. Okay, so that 1 that used to be right here with the 12, instead of keeping it in the ones place, we brought that 1 down here because we changed it into a 10. And so that 1 actually had to go over here in the tens place. Alrighty, I want to do one more just to practice and make sure that we're understanding that when you have a 10 or 11 or 12 in the ones place, you have to separate it and put the 1 where it belongs, which is in the tens place. And your parents can help you with this too. If this is a tricky thing for you to learn, ask your mom and dad to help you, and you guys can work through some of these problems together. And remember that your iReady lessons are there to help you too. So keep practicing with those iReady lessons. That'll help you with this concept as well. All right, one more. Let's do hats, okay? 47 hats plus 8 more hats. Sorry, 28 more hats because it's double digit. So let me write those down. I'm going to get a different color here because my blue does not seem to be working as well. So I'm going to do 40, that looks better, 7 hats. So my 4 is the number that's in the tens place, and my 7, the purple, is the number that's in the ones place. My second double digit number, let's say 28 hats is what we add on. So 28. The number that's green is the tens place. The number that is purple is the ones place. So now it is time to add. Do you think when we're adding, should we start here in the tens place or here in the ones place? If you said the ones place, you're correct. We have to start in the ones place because we want to add these together to figure out if we're going to have to do a regrouping or an exchange. These are pretty big numbers. Both of these numbers are close to 10, so I can already tell that this is going to be a regrouping problem. Let's put 8 in our brain and then count on from there 7 more times. So we're going to start with 8, and then we're going to pop up 7 fingers to count on. So touch your brain. Here we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is going to be way too many for the ones place, but I'm going to write it down here just so that we remember. 15 ones. Looking at this number right here, if I were to set up 15 in a tens and ones chart, and I put tens on this side and ones on this side, the 15 would be set up like this. And this shows you that there's actually one 10 inside of 15, and that 10 cannot be in the ones place. We are going to have to move that 1 over to the tens place, okay? So I already know that this 1 right here is going to have to be moved over to the tens place. The 5 can stay, but the 1, which is actually showing in the tens place, cannot stay in that place value. We know we're going to have to move this 1 over to the other side. So once we get our tens, we're just going to add 1 more because of this 1 right here. So now let's do our tens place. 4 plus 2, okay? 4 in our head, count on 2 times. Do it with me, here we go. 4, 5, 6. So we know we had 6. However, we are going to have to add this 1 over here. So it's really going to be 6 plus 1 more. That's going to be 7 tens. And then, like I said, the 5 gets to stay. I don't know where my purple marker went. The 5 gets to stay. And he can stay in the ones place, 75. Okay? There we go. 75. So we knew that this 1 here couldn't stay in the ones place. We brought him over to the 10 side where he belonged. So then when we added up, 4 plus 2 was 6, plus 1 more was 7. The number is 75. Okay? Let's just go back really quick, and I want to show you the ones using the cubes here that I have in front of me. So 1, 2, I'm going to start with the 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm trying to set this up like a 10 frame in groups of 2. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I would need 2 more to make this a 10. I'm going to start building my 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of this 7 group, I am going to take these 2 to be able to create a 10, and that left me with 5 left over. Once I was able to create a 10 in the ones, I took those away and I exchanged them for a long instead. That long was this number right here, and that is the number that we had to carry over to the other side, and that's where this 1 is coming from. The 5 were left behind, and that is why we have a 5 left in the ones place. Whoops, that's 6. 5 left in the ones place. Okay, so 75 was the answer. Like I said, keep working on your iReady lessons for this, and this will help you. And if you need any extra help, you can ask your mom and dad, or maybe you have an older brother or sister. And if you still need help, then have your parents reach out to me, and I will help you. We can do like a special video conference, just you and me, and we'll work through some of these problems together. Bye!